All right. Pumping out content for people to not get bored during quarantine. Going to check in with a couple of MoWest alumni here, just figure out where they are now, what they're up to. So I got Connor Brown. He's a state champ, maybe a couple times, but from Oak Grove, Missouri. He was a MoWest alum. And we got Taylor Brown from Warrensburg. You know, he did some good things too. He was All-American a few times. And they're both wrestling in college now. And just wanted to give people an update on what they're up to. So, Connor, you go first. What are you up to now?
Right now, I'm back home in Oak Grove, Missouri. Just spending time with the family, healing up from both shoulder surgeries, and then doing schoolwork on top of that. Just trying to stay on top of it so I can stay eligible for next year and be able to wrestle. But other than that, just stay in my house, not leaving, doing what's asked of me, and hopefully this will end soon and be all back to normal.
Yeah, and he's currently here. He's currently at Mizzou, even though he's actually currently in Oak Grove. But
Yes.
And Taylor, what are you up to right now? For people who don't know.
So right now I'm pretty much going to class online. I gotta make sure I meet with those. We're doing like video chats, and I'm trying to get as many workouts as I can. I'm actually staying with my cousin this weekend, so maybe we can get a couple workouts in while I'm staying here.
And you're going to West Point right now.
Yep. So this is like they've never done online classes here, so it's a little different for everyone. They're trying to get it figured out.
Yeah. So what's the wrestling culture at your guys' schools like as far as your teams and everything prior to this current situation? What's college wrestling like for you?
You gonna go first or me, Taylor?
You can go.
I would just say close. You know, we got 30 some odd guys on the team, and it's just like a band of brothers. Be there for each other whenever somebody's down, whenever somebody's up. Just making sure we're doing our part for the team, whether that be you're one of the 10 starters or you're a backup or you're a red shirt. You're there for everybody and make sure that they're getting what they need. And it was hard to see the 10 guys that were able to compete to go to the national tournament, the ones that made it, getting their tournament taken away from them was pretty hard. But I would say this is going to bring a lot of teams probably closer together because of this whole thing. You know, you got to grow from it, and it's never been experienced before. So I think it'll be good to bring even more camaraderie to the team. And then we're getting incoming freshmen, so that'd be new faces on the team, and hopefully next year we can show out and do some big things.
Yeah. What about you, Taylor? What's the culture like there at West Point?
So we definitely have a pretty close team, pretty close-knit group of guys. But we've had like a pretty rough year as far as like culture goes. So back in the end of May, beginning of June, sometime around there, we had a teammate die in a training accident at West Point. So that was pretty rough for us. But we found a way to get through it. This, I would say, is a lot smaller, like as far as being stuck inside and having the tournament canceled. It's rough as well, but I wouldn't say that's near as rough as what we experienced last summer. So I think that brought us closer together. And then this, we're all over the country right now, but we're still like keeping in contact and staying pretty close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do you guys think whenever you guys were wrestling in high school and you guys obviously did pretty much everything you could do and freestyle and Greco, going to duels, going to Fargo and everything else in between, how do you guys think that helped prepare you guys for this next level of wrestling? Connor?
So for me personally, looking back on it, I didn't have the career I wanted outside of the high school season, and that kind of was a sour taste in my mouth at the time. But now that I look back on it, it's a lot of good memories with just traveling with everybody, and then wrestling competition. I think that's a big thing in high school, to go places, take losses. It's good for you. You know, you learn a lot of stuff from that, and it just teaches you the big moment. Like you gotta adapt. You gotta be able to adapt to wherever you're at. You're not gonna win a national tournament in your home arena. It's going to be somewhere else. You got to, I don't know. I just think it adapted me to being able to like just wrestle anywhere and not really care. It's just another wrestling match. And I don't know. It's just, and a lot of fun times on top of that. Just traveling all the time was awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Taylor?
One thing that was good for me, so like a lot of people know this, but for those that are watching that don't know, my dad was my coach in high school, so it was good for me to go to those tournaments where he wasn't coaching and get some experience with some other coaches. Because like in college, when these guys that have their dad as their high school coach, he's not going to be their coach in college, so he's going to watch, he's going to keep up with them, but it's good to get some experience with some people that you're not as comfortable with.
Yeah. Jesse, you got any questions on that?
No, I think the only question I had was for Connor. You've been a couple of places now, and I was just kind of wondering if you could tell the kids about like some of the differences in the places that you've been, and not like bad things, just like some of the differences in the culture and stuff like that.
For sure. So in high school, I committed to South Dakota State and went through my freshman year, just like my hometown, real small. Just like from what I experienced my year there, the culture and the town is awesome. Like everybody's just personal, like nice. They care for their sports a lot, and that makes it more, for me personally, it makes it a lot, and I can't speak, a lot more enjoyable when you got fans that are interested in what you're doing, and you pack the whole arena with fans. And the team there was awesome. Like I don't even know, I can't even really describe it. It's just one of the best full year experiences of wrestling I've ever had in my life, especially stepping in. I had to learn a lot of things, and it just gave me time to grow. And then after my freshman year, ended up transferring to Bono and Reeder to Wisconsin. Madison's a great town. It's very, very large compared to where I'm from. Just it's a big culture shock for me. But the facilities and people there were awesome. Take care of you in any aspect, whether that be school, wrestling, outside life. Was always taken care of there. Their facilities are pretty darn awesome. Like they got some pretty cool stuff up there. Team was good. Real close. It's not much to do in the winter up there is the only problem. You're stuck inside a lot, playing video games, watching movies, and then took a good long while away from college wrestling, and then decided to go back to Mizzou, and I love it. It's home for me. It's still a little bit bigger of a town, like College Field, but at the same time, I know a lot of people in Columbia, so it makes it a lot different than the other two schools. I'm not, a 6 or an 8 hour drive away from mom and dad, and family, friends. I can drive an hour and a half back to my house if I need something. And it's just very homey. And like I said before, the guys were a group of brothers, and I just love it down there. Coaches can't thank enough for giving me this opportunity to come back and try and finish what I started. So I don't know. It's been fun, but a long time.
So like kind of same question, but a little different for Taylor. Like, so West Point, obviously, you're there to wrestle, but it's a whole other lifestyle. So what's like a day in the life look like for you there, more or less?
I wouldn't say it's too much different than what Connor has. So we wake up, typically we'll have like a lift or a practice in the morning. Then, we go to breakfast, go to class. I'd say one of the pieces that's pretty different is like everyone that goes to school goes to lunch at the same time. So that's a pretty unique part. And then, after class in the afternoon, we'll go to practice and then do homework in the afternoon. Like our schedule stays pretty similar day to day. So one day will look pretty similar to the next, which so time there kind of goes by a little different. Like one day will be really long. The next week will go by really fast. But
what's something cool you've gotten to do training wise while you've been there that's not related to wrestling, but more to the military side?
I'd say one of the coolest things I've done is rappel out of a helicopter, but that's pretty. A lot of cadets get to do that.
You did the survival training or whatever? Your
I
dad
did
was
do
telling me?
that. Yeah, that was a different, pretty unique part. Not a whole lot of cadets could actually do that.
What was that like?
It was definitely different. So I got to experience what a lot of guys that are in the special operations community get to go through as one of the phases of their training, and it was definitely unique as far as like what all we did. You know, I got to learn about different plants you can eat, how to like set traps, and how to skin and kill animals.
And how were you at the end of it? Your dad had told me that you were pretty happy whenever you guys got rescued at the end.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. You know, you turn around and you see a American flag there. It makes it a little bit more powerful.
Yeah, that's cool. Kind of my last question for you guys. Throw a MoWest memory or something. Wrap up telling people about your experience before you went to college. What's something you remember, or what's something positive that happened, or something like that?
For me, I would just say I don't have like one particular experience or like memory, but it's more of just like all 4 summers of my high school career, just spending it doing something I loved and putting time and passion into it was awesome. And being able to spend it with people that wanted to do the same, I think that makes it a little bit easier. When you get to, I don't know, I feel like during the high school season, sometimes people, it's just a sport for them. And then when you get outside of high school, it's like people that actually want to be doing it. I don't know. It just has a different experience to it. And you also get a lot more experience with coaches. Like Taylor said, you have different people coaching you and you get different styles and you just learn so much through that time. And then you get to show it the next season during high school. So that's one thing that I really cherish from everything.
Yeah, what do you got, Taylor?
One of the most fun things that I did over the summers that I was wrestling freestyle was going to the dual tournaments, cadet duels and junior duels. Those were way more fun than just wrestling by myself at a tournament. You know, you got a whole bench of guys cheering, and I'm still pretty close with some of the guys that are on those teams. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you guys are good examples for the kids. You guys have had a lot of diverse experiences through high school going into college. So I think that it's good for people to hear from you and kind of be able to hear your experience transitioning from high school into college. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and appreciate you guys telling everybody your story. All right.